Welcome to Oilers Nation Every Day with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
I told myself I would never get a tattoo, but I mean, this looks pretty fucking sick.
Fucking God.
Let's get into it with the lead. What do you think, Liam? The A right over the belly button?
It's funny, I got the exact same. Damn.
Welcome into the show on the heels of a Maximum Jones game-winning
Did not
goal.
see that one. I knew it would be something to oil to the max.
Had that
Damn.
idea, like, I'm not even kidding, 5 minutes after he scored, I was like, I'm going to write his name on my stomach for the show tomorrow.
That makes a lot of sense.
Let's go. Someone said Tyler's jacked. No, I'm not.
I remember when I was a boy, I was at a party.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely old enough to drink. And I found an eagle tattoo in my friend's bedroom.
What do you mean?
Do you remember you could just like press
Oh,
tattoos?
okay.
So I pressed it onto my chest and it filled my entire chest. I felt very manly.
Okay.
Nothing else about me was manly at the time.
You don't have any tattoos.
No,
Nope.
I'm a clean boy.
Neither do I. Welcome into
All
the show.
three of us don't have any tattoos.
No, we're all good. Just
Eli?
Eli?
Eli's got it.
Seven.
Eli's 7, yeah.
And he's just a boy.
When I was doing this downstairs, Ryder was like, that's probably not good for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I mean,
don't think Ryder's the one who should be judging.
it's probably a little toxic. Anyways, I'll give you all one more look.
We've all.
Eli did a great job drawing it.
Eli drew it.
Yeah. Who else was going to draw it? I was going to go
Yourself?
ask. No, dude, you couldn't. Upside
Of
down?
course you could. Those are the easiest letters to write. You had to draw a circle and a line and. Yeah,
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah,
Shout
I was
out
going to
Eli.
ask Maddie from marketing, but then I was like, that's probably crossing a line.
Looks good.
Yeah, we're good. We're all good.
Is it Sharpie?
No, it's Expo marker.
Oh.
Welcome into the show, everybody. We are live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out online at sportscloset.ca. Tomorrow, the return of the mystery player contest.
Could be anyone. Who do they play tomorrow?
Florida.
I'm going to guess Teddy Purcell.
That's a good guess. It's a good guess. Haven't picked him yet. Anyways, the show's a presentation of Bet365. Hockey fans, check out Bet365's 3-goal early payout. When your team goes up 3, you get paid. It's that simple. Download the app today. Must be 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Everybody in the YouTube chat, a big hello to you. Hope you enjoyed that introduction to today's show. But the Edmonton Oilers go 1-0 in the post-Leon Draisaitl or not, life without Leon era, we'll call it.
Are
'Cause
they
he's coming
1-0?
back.
Or are they 1.5-0?
I
Or
mean,
1
sure.
2/3-0?
They have not lost since Leon Draisaitl was injured.
Yeah, they played
1
well
2/3
yesterday,
to
to
no,
be
yeah.
fair.
We should actually run that a little bit.
Mateo Ethanbed did not play for Florida.
No.
Wrong.
Caleb Jones might have. Caleb
No.
Jones is sneaky, played for a ton of teams.
Chicago,
Colorado.
Colorado. No, he didn't play for Dallas because Tyler Myers.
L.A. That's
Did
what
he
I
play
think.
for LA?
6 games.
Should have known that one.
Yeah, Chicago, Colorado, L.A., Pittsburgh were his teams. Anyways, he's currently suspended for steroids.
Is he in Chicago?
No, he's on Pittsburgh right now, and he's suspended for
Jeez,
steroids.
what a roller coaster.
Yep. Anyways, everybody in the YouTube chat, what's up? I think you all knew as soon as Max Jones scored that winner yesterday that it was going to be a big part of the conversation. But all joking aside, the Edmonton Oilers begin life without Leon Draisaitl, score 5 goals, only one of them on the power play, only one of them involving Connor McDavid. All 4 forward lines find a way to contribute at 5-on-5. I didn't know what team I was watching.
Yeah. Well, I thought it's hard to replace Leon Draisaitl, obviously.
Yes.
And there's no one who can step up and step into his shoes and take that role. And I think we all understood the idea is if the Oilers were going to get going here, and it had to start last night, obviously, it had to be a team effort. And I thought, minus the second period for the most part, I thought they were a bit sluggish. But overall, they played really, really solid hockey, and I think they found ways to win in untraditional Oilers fashion, I guess you could say. Not even on the depth side of things. I don't think that's been as huge of a problem recently as it maybe has been labeled, but it's just look where they're getting goals from. Oil to the Max comes out from the back of the net and just puts it in. The Hyman goal was, I think Hyman was a second tipper on that one. Savoy got to it as well.
There was a second tipper?
There was.
assassination talk for you guys. See, YouTube chat, I care about you guys. But yeah, like Matt Savoy, how long, Liam? Sorry to like jump in, but like,
I was done.
How long did we say put pucks on net, get traffic in front of net?
Yeah.
How many of those? Connor Murphy's goal, put a puck on net. Max Jones's goal, put a puck on net, go to the net, and then the other one in front of the net, which was
Hyman.
Yeah, the Hyman goal, put a puck on net, get bodies in front.
Yeah.
Good things happen. Like they just did so many things that they haven't been doing in the past.
But they're like a team, and they played somewhat playoff style, I guess you could say, in a way like they were scoring goals, and I thought they never really let up. And as the game went on, they seemed to get better after. Again, they had a bit of a lull there in the second period, don't get me wrong, but I thought overall a really solid game from the Oilers. Again, another mature performance, an experienced performance.
Yeah, and again, they've laid out the blueprint for how they can win games without Leon Draisaitl. Power play still found a way to chip in. Thought it was fine-ish. The one goal, obviously, very nice to get at that point. And yeah, you just get contributions from everyone. You outwork the other team. Was it perfect? No, the second period, they kind of got their teeth kicked in a little bit in that middle frame. I know the shots were 15-12, but that's probably flattering to the Oilers in that sense. The goals against, they made some mistakes, but not mistakes that really bothered me all too much, and I'll talk about that more in just a second. And not only do you get a win, Liam, but you get a lot of help on the out-of-town scoreboard as well, which I think is worth mentioning off the top of the show. Not only do
how did Vegas finish?
Vegas lost 2-0 to Buffalo.
Suck it.
Seattle lost 6-2 or 6-3 to Tampa Bay.
Suck it.
And now you sit, and again, not only do you get the 4-point swing over San Jose, but last night acts like a 4-point swing over both the Kraken and the Golden Knights. Vegas now has to win their game in hand if they're going to pass you. Seattle, if they win both of their games in hand, are still 2 points back of you. San Jose, if they win their games in hand, are still a point back of you. There was a world where that game, if it goes the other way, San Jose would have only been 3 points back of you with 3 games in hand. That would have been really bad. LA did win last night, but even if LA wins their games in hand, they're still 2 points back of you, and in no way can they catch you in the tiebreaker standings either. So a whole bunch of things really breaking the Oilers' way last night, and they're sitting now in a spot where, listen, you're going to have to beat Anaheim in that head-to-head matchup, but Liam, I'm looking at Bet365 and a plus 400 Oilers to win the Pacific Division bet, even without Leon Draisaitl. I'm kind of going like, that might be the value. The fact that their odds are like 3 times as good as Vegas is right now, and again, Vegas has to win their game in hand to jump you. You have 2 head-to-head games against them. Man, and we're riding this roller coaster. I get it. Yesterday, a little down in the dumps with no Leon. You started to kind of sit there and go, are they going to be able to win enough games to get this done? You have the week or 10 days that you have now. Feeling pretty good.
Can I hype us up a little bit more?
Sure.
What are their cup odds?
Oh,
I'll be honest, and like I've been thinking about this a lot, and I say a lot of stuff on the show. I do it every day. Besides days I have off and on weekends.
if I knew all it took was me lifting up my shirt to get you this excited, I mean, we'd do it on more shows.
I think when you look at this Oilers team, and there's a couple of layers I want to go through this. Just walk with me. They've got a few guys right now at this time finding like their peak of their game. Mm-hmm. Podkolzin all of a sudden is just a 5-on-5 goal-scoring beast.
So he is, after that goal last night,
15th for the season?
Tied for 29th in the NHL in 5-on-5 goals. The players he is tied with: Draisaitl, Panarin, Werenski, O'Reilly, Stützle, Lehkonen, Kempe, Batherson, Protas, and Kirill Marchenko. And if you convert that to per 60, even more impressive. So Vasily Podkolzin, full marks to him. I like that you brought that up.
And I think his game translates quite easily to playoff hockey. Obviously, we just know who he is. I don't need to get into that. You've got Evan Bouchard playing. The fact Evan Bouchard is in a Norris conversation, not even with us, but with national media, I think is remarkable. It should probably be the story of the other season, to be honest.
And there's still people who are dismissing him.
Totally. Connor McDavid, still playing really, really well. Obviously, we don't even need to get into him. Zach Hyman leads the league in goals since December 1st or early December, whatever it is.
He's scoring at like a 50-some goal pace.
Yeah. And then I feel like the third line they're starting to try and form here. Obviously, the Draisaitl wrinkle throws it off a little bit, but like the Nuge, Dickinson, Roslovic line. I like the way that's forming out. Like Jeff Merrick's been on the show and talked a lot about like they need to find that third line. And the only reason they've been able to have this third line, what will be the third line, is that Matt Savoy is playing so well with Connor McDavid. Where I will then ask the question, could Matt Savoy be your Jake Gensel of this playoffs? If you remember Jake Gensel, he did play in the American League, and I think he was a year older.
Trying to get everybody horny? Or what?
But he played less games that season than Savoy did, and then went into play. I think he had like 10 goals, 12 goals, whatever it was. The point is, Pittsburgh won the cup, and he played a huge role in it. The conversation will always come down to goaltending with the Edmonton Oilers. I think team defense has actually been pretty solid as well, minus the Dallas game, and that will be an obstacle they would have to overcome if they were to win the cup. Or to even make the cup final, I guess, more than likely. Connor Ingram, to me, I have a lot of belief in Connor Ingram. I think he's playing good. Like, even yesterday, the goals he allowed, like, you don't really look at him and you think, oh, how did you allow that one? Like, the first one, he actually saved it and put it into his own net.
Yeah.
Like, he was just a bit unlucky, and then there was a breakaway. And I think he's done well this season, and he's only played, this is a big thing for me, he's only played 33 games total, including the American League. It's kind of fresh. And I know there's a lot more hockey left. What game are they at? They're at 69th game last night.
Yep.
So however many that is, do the math for me. He's not going to touch anything close to what Stuart Skinner was playing a couple of times for the Oilers last few seasons. I'm not all the way in, but I'm starting to see things that are lining up well for the Oilers to probably go on a deeper run than maybe we would have thought of like 6 weeks ago. And I think it's fair to assume that they could do well. They still got ways to go, and they could completely fall apart. And I recognize they've, like, people like Kate was commenting yesterday. I was like, relax, we just beat Nashville, and last night they just beat San Jose. But those are two teams who are do or die right now. They're have to play desperate hockey to get in. The Oilers still got some games here, but I like the way things are trending.
Jake Gensel, in his rookie season, that year he came up, he scored 16 goals and 33 points in 40 games.
Yeah.
So was more productive than Savoy.
100%. But Savoy is now playing like he has a point per game since the Olympic break.
Yeah, I think he's 11 points in 12 games or something like that. So pretty much, yeah.
So that's kind of my thing is like small sample size. I don't think Savoy is Jake Gensel 100%. But like I think he's getting red hot at the right time.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a million miles away from you. Give me a second. Go. Just ignore me for a minute.
We're spaced okay, I think. So many cords now on the floor.
I know. I got this ISP.
IFB. We have to wear earpieces now.
Ear piercings.
No. The tattoo's far enough.
God.
All right, let's keep the conversation going, Liam, and get into our game recap. Game recaps on the show are a presentation of Derrick Dodge Edmonton. It's the beginning of a new chapter for Derrick Dodge as they are under new ownership, bringing a fresh approach, new energy, and a renewed focus on customer experience. And right now, they have an unbeatable deal. With every vehicle purchase, you will receive a trip for two to Las Vegas. You heard that right. Leave the lot with a new vehicle, and flights and accommodations for a trip for two to Vegas are on them. That is tough to beat. Visit Derrick Dodge at 6211 104th Street Northwest or online at derrickdodge.com. DerrickDodge.com.
Why would I have known that?
Why would I do that?
Either way, I endorse it.
Yep. So Connor Ingram was very, very good last night. But let's break down this game in a little bit of order because you talked about that first goal. And my beef with it as I watch it back is Jason Dickinson had the turnover.
Yeah.
But when you go watch it, the way that play's developing, so Roslovic is coming up with him. There is only one D-man back. It's John Klingberg. Kiefer Sherwood's pressing Dickinson. If he makes that pass through or past Kiefer Sherwood, it is a 2-on-1, and assuming Dickinson stays in the rush, it is a 3-on-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. Mm-hmm. Sherwood almost doesn't even break it up. It hits his skate.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't do much.
My problem with it is the guy who's jumping up in the rush to make it a 2-on-1 is Spencer Stastney. That's all good. Use your feet. That's what makes him best. I'm sure Paul Coffey watches Spencer Stastney and how fast he can skate and says, I want you getting up in the rush. Why in the goddamn world is Jake Wallman jumping up in the rush as well?
Yeah.
It's already a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1, and Jake Wallman is 4 steps behind Spencer Stastney trying to get up in the rush with him. Now, Wallman, you're trusting to an extent that Dickinson makes that play. You're a defenseman. If he was a forward, I would have given him some like, all right, you're getting up in the rush. Like you're assuming there's a D-man behind you. That turns into a 2, almost 3-on-1 with Nuge as the only guy back because Jake Wallman makes such a horrendous read. This guy is not playing well and has not played well for months now. And again, like we talk about Bouchard, I'll forgive Bouchard for making plays where he's trying to find a seam pass and spring someone on a 2-on-1 or, is trying to wait that extra second for a lane to develop. Because it's an error that comes out of trying to make what I would call a high-end play that this team kind of needs and thrives on. This is a mental mistake from Jake Wallman. It's already a 2-on-1. It's already going to be a high-event scoring chance for you. There is no need with 3 San Jose Sharks behind you to get up in the rush and make that play. So I don't blame Ingram at all. I don't even blame Dickinson at all on that. That is a piss poor read by Jake Wallman, and those are the plays he has to get out of his game.
The other side of it too is the other winger was in the play.
Yeah,
like he was obviously just on the other boards. But yeah, it was unnecessary from Wallman to get up and do that. I'm not sure why you would even think that. Maybe because the other defenseman, like Orlov, was clearly behind him already, so that maybe there's an extra bit of space. I don't know, but yeah, he's got to find it. But I think other than that, he wasn't too bad yesterday.
I mean, and there really isn't a ton to complain about from the game last night. I was sitting there watching Spencer Stastney.
Mm-hmm.
As far as number 7 defensemen go,
he's fine.
I don't know if you could do much better than Spencer Stastney for a guy who can sit in the press box for as long as he did and then jump right back in. Like, I thought Stastney was really good. Darnell Nurse made some really bad choices as well, but none of them really bit the Oilers in the ass.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought the blue line as a whole was fine. Just that one read from Wallman just drove me absolutely bonkers. And it also drove me nuts at the moment because it was like the Oilers were playing so well. The first, I think, 5 shots of the game all went to Edmonton. They were generating really good. They were possessing the puck in the O-zone well. Like, San Jose couldn't get anything going. There's no need to jump up and make that play if you're Wallman. You don't need to push. If they're down 2 goals in the third period, every day of the week, get up.
Yeah.
We are 7.5 minutes or 7 minutes into the hockey game. Your team is playing well. Why do you gift San Jose an opportunity like that?
Unnecessary. I agree. And luckily they were able to recover from it.
Yep.
Spencer Stastney, I think he was a player a lot of people were curious about when Caufield did come in to see how you could find anything.
Yep.
He's still got to be productive more with his points, but he looks the part. And he's still a fairly young player. What is he, 25, 26? God, I remember when I was that young.
3 years ago? I'd hope you remember.
Almost 4.
We were doing this show.
It's coming up. When we started our rookie year, we're the same as Stastney.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Nuge scores, and then Connor Murphy gets his first as an
Murphy.
and then almost scores again like 4 minutes after. Shout out to Jay yesterday on the show who said he was going to score.
Did he?
Yeah, he said something along the lines of like, watch Murphy score tonight. People were tweeting me.
Really?
Yeah.
I was so close to hitting my bet. I hit everything. Guess what I missed?
What?
McDavid points.
McDavid.
I couldn't believe it. I was so pissed
I missed too, yeah.
on that empty net. I was like, oh my
I know.
God, plus 700, I'm going to hit this thing.
The worst thing that happened was San Jose got called for a penalty.
I know. And also, too, maybe it's because Celebrini was there, but sometimes on empty nets, you can get called for like a clear, what do they call it?
But only if it's a breakaway.
But I wonder if he would have been called on a breakaway if Celebrini wasn't there. Was he like too far away from the net? You know what I mean? Because there was no one in the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, was he too
there was still
far?
one guy back.
No, he got caught. But like, hey, I understand that. But if like Celebrini wasn't there, because he's the one who kind of called McDavid at the end, it wasn't a penalty on him. It was Sherwood, right?
Yeah.
If he wasn't there and Sherwood had got him, there was no one else in front. But he was also between the blue line and the red line. Would they have called that like a, what is it even called, a clear net breakaway or something?
I think so, yeah.
Do you think it would have been called? You know what I mean?
I don't remember it well enough, honestly.
Couldn't stop thinking about
So the Oilers walk out of the first period, Liam, with a 3-1 lead. Vasily Podkolzin got his. Shout out to Adam Henrique, who made a nice play on that goal. He was buzzing early on. We'll talk more about Rico in a second. But Edmonton just, again, timely turnover here. Rico swoops in. One touch. What does Podkolzin do? Hammers the puck on net. 3-1 Oilers. You go to the second period, and they lost their boots. Like, it was weird to see the way that ice flipped, especially when they looked so good in the first period. Full credit to Connor Ingram, because this game honestly could have been 4-3 San Jose if he didn't play so well. Like, the second period, the ice was tilted that far, in my opinion. The second goal, that was one where Regenda just had a nice deflection. Again, nothing
Tough
you can
one.
do there.
Yeah.
I'm not even, Wallman and Stastney were on the ice for that. I'm not even blaming that. That's just a guy who flies in and makes a really good play.
Well, he just kind of bounces off the forward really quickly, I guess you could say. He finds the open ice. I think sometimes you got to give credit to the guy. That was his Regenda.
Yeah.
He's. I remember when we had our friend JD Young on, and I asked him about it. I was like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
He said he's just kind of ground his way to the NHL, and it's stuff like that. Those kind of goals that'll keep you around. Like, I think he said it was his 10th goal of the season. 10 goals for a guy I've never heard of before is pretty good.
Yeah. Third goal. This one was like a combination of bad luck and maybe just not
Weird
playing.
one.
Well, yeah. So Rico goes and snaps the drawback clean, but breaks his stick on the faceoff.
Yeah.
So the stick's laying there. Rico goes off, but because he's grabbing a stick, he's not moving. That almost felt like it threw off Connor Murphy.
Yeah.
And shitty bounce on Murphy's part in the sense it bounced over his stick. I wanted to be like, what was Darnell Nurse thinking? Also, how is he not one of the first guys back? That was a little. I guess he pinches down.
Yeah,
and
he
throws
was
it
quite
around,
far down.
That's just bad luck. I don't. That'll happen. And again, Ingram made enough big saves that I'm not going to be like, oh, you got to make a save there. Like that again. I wasn't super stressed. I was worried coming out of the third because I was like, damn, they played so well in the first and they blew a 2-goal lead again, which they do like doing this year for whatever reason. But I didn't look at either one of those 2 goals as like them massively falling apart. If anything, I almost sat there and said, you know what? San Jose is a good hockey team too. They were going to give you a push. They got a couple bounces. You tried to do the bend but not break. Luck didn't break your way though.
No luck on St. Paddy's Day.
The
men in turquoise got it instead. It kind of poetic when you think about it. Yeah, I think on that goal though, it's just a bit unlucky. And I mean, we've seen Nurse score from those positions before. I recall one against St. Louis last season. He scored a really nice goal from there. So I'm not going to discredit the shot by any means. Just a bit of an unfortunate play with like the stick breaking over, like you said. Good goal by Sherwood too. It was a really nice move from him. It felt a little bit like a playoff game in that moment.
With the way he celebrated? Oh, yeah.
And I mean, again, this is a team in San Jose who's do or die right now. And
yep.
I would actually love it if San Jose made the playoffs. I really would.
San Jose, Colorado would be fun.
Yeah, it would be a fun.
They might get smoked, but it'd be fun.
I feel like we had that series when Joe Thornton was around. I feel like that was one where like one of Nate's first years. Maybe I'm wrong. I probably am, but
yeah.
I thought they did well. And you said like you don't have any beef with the 2 goals. I don't either. I just feel like the Oilers just tried to absorb too much pressure in a way in that first opening 10, 12 minutes of the second period. That is just like eventually you're just allowing too much to get to your net. Yeah. So that was my only beef, but they responded really well.
Someone in the chat, Knockout Panda, no, it's bad shot selection from Nurse. You can't blow that puck by the net. He had numbers though, right? Like Murphy was there when it rims around. I agree on like odd man rushes. You can't fire a puck wide of the net like that. In that one, when you have zone time, you try to pick your corner. I'm okay with that.
I would say also that to me seemed like a pretty clear set play.
Yeah,
you're in the face-off, you come down the boards and you rip it on net. And then there's already a guy stood in front. Like I think if you look at it as well, when Nurse shoots from me, he doesn't even really look to be like, where am I going to put this? He just like, I think it's like pretty set in his mind that's going to happen.
Edmonton in the third period came out, and this is where I think the word mature kind of really describes it. Really didn't give San Jose a ton.
No.
Really kind of just did. That third period looked at how they closed out playoff games over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's tied, and they just say, all right, second period, you guys gave us your best. We now know what your best is. Here's our pushback.
Yeah, and I was just looking at it. It says San Jose got 4 high-danger chances in the third period at 5-5, but I don't really recall. I think Ingram made a good save towards the end. And Aaron, did we miss anything? You obviously did the post-game show yesterday.
Yeah, like, did we miss anything
there
crazy
was some point-blank stops for Ingram that I think were at the end of the second period. As for the third, the Oilers just kind of shut it down. And then, of course, Max Jones.
I'm going to bring attention to this because I just want to. This green light is on the speakers. Is that doing anything here?
Oh, you think that's why we hear the?
I don't know. I can hear a hum, and I know a couple of people have done anything. I don't want to. I will disrupt the show because I just did it.
Have people
but
said
there's
something in the chat?
A couple of people have brought it up. That's why I was not going to bring attention to it, but I don't know what it could be.
We'll figure it out after
figure it
post
out.
show.
All right.
The speaker's not plugged in, so
But it's on. The green light is. I see a green light.
I know, but it's not feeding into the computer.
Very
It's plugged
interesting.
into a power code.
Ghost
power source.
speakers. Wow. Could be anything. What I will say
I
is
hear it now.
someone asked earlier, I think it was Maynard, said that, like, Freddie obviously blocked a shot towards the end, and didn't come back, but like Knobloch kind of avoided the question. Bob did ask him. I didn't see it that way, Maynard, if it was you. I thought that he was just pretty quick to response, and it was just the end. There you go. It's over. Freddie played well yesterday.
Did we fix the buzzer?
I think we did. Thanks, Aaron.
People in the chat were saying they're static for sure.
Number one producer.
I think it's only your buzz. I think their buzz is still there. Either way, we're working on it.
Okay,
We're working
mine's
on
fine. I'm good now.
All right.
Freddie played well. I think he's played well.
Yep.
One play I really liked, and again, I love these encouraging signs from him. I think it was Vinny. It was either Vinny or Orlov, one of those two guys. Kind of gave him a little bit of a nudge going towards the net. And as Freddie turned around, just grabbed him by the scuff and was basically like,
Don't do
you.
that.
Yeah, like, we're not doing this.
Don't touch me.
I really like, shows me that he's playing with some good confidence.
3-3 early in that period. The fourth line strikes. Max Jones from Adam Henrique and Trent Frederick. Oil to the max, Liam. Everyone was fired up. I love seeing, like, when Murphy celebrated the way he did, I loved it. Seeing Max Jones just be so fired up, and he's got the finger wagging. None of it makes any sense at all. You could even, like, kind of read his lips. I think he was like, boom, bang. Like, he was just screaming.
Yeah.
I love seeing this kind of passion and energy from guys who don't get to score a lot. But on that note, Max Jones has 2 goals in his last 4 games as an Edmonton Oiler, both of them on a goalie.
Do you remember how he scored the last one, too?
No.
Great forecheck by Curtis Lazar. Absolutely
yeah. Got him in front.
hammered Logan Stanley. Kind of threw off Hellebuck a little bit. It seemed like didn't know where the puck was. Came in tucked in. The Oilers won that game 2-1.
So Max Jones, in his last 4 games, has 2 goals on a goalie. It took Matthias Janmark 73 regular season games to do that, and it also took Adam Henrique 55 games to do that.
And how much does he make? $1 million?
Yeah. Something about fourth liners who know how to play their role.
Former first-round pick, obviously Max Jones as well. I think a guy who has played way more in the American League than I would assume he ever thought he was going to. 24th overall in 2016. He's played a lot in the NHL, and he's got the experience, but I like that he's just adapted his game. And they've said to him, like, hey, if you want to play on the Edmonton Oilers this season, you need to be a heavy player, and you need to use your speed to become that guy. And I credit to him because look at that, like 7 minutes, and he managed to get 2 shots, 4 hits, and a goal. And this is what I was trying to say yesterday with Ike Howard. And again, like if Ike Howard came up, I think he'd be fine. But like he can't do that. He needs more time on ice, and the others can't provide that to him. I think him. I even saw a few people talk about James Hamlin yesterday as an option as well, just because again, like these guys will come up and they'll play this role, and it's almost like desperate hockey in a way. I think a lot of credit deserves to go to Max Jones because he's a guy who really doesn't know what his future holds game to game. Yep. Never shift to shift, it feels like. I don't know if he saw the ice again after he scored, to be honest. But he had his moment, and he took advantage of it, and credit to him. It was cool.
I'm very curious now if he got 2 more shifts after he scored.
2 more? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm still not so totally sold on him being anything more than like a tweener, per se.
Agreed. I think that's all he is.
But the fact you can have that guy in your organization and just tap him and say, hey, we need energy for a couple of games. Go. And he gives it to you. He gives you exactly what you need from him in a limited sample.
And it's all the Oilers need right now.
Yep.
They need the fourth line. Who was it? Freddie, Henrique, and him. They combined for 4 points yesterday.
So that ties in really nicely, Liam, to my Bright Dental Bright Moment of the Game. It's brought to you by Bright Dental, a family dental office located in St. Albert, open Monday to Friday from 8 to 8. Bright Dental is a Blue Diamond Invisalign provider. You can schedule your free dental scan today. They also offer a full range of dental services, including same day crowns. Give Bright Dental a call to book an appointment, or for more information, go to brightdental.ca. All right. Last night, my Bright Dental bright moment of the game, it's that fourth line. And I just want to keep the conversation going. And, I just kind of took a little shot at Rico there. But I'll say Adam Henrique looked really, really good last night. That's the most noticeable that I've seen Adam Henrique in quite some time. He was good on the PK. He was on the ice for a couple of really nice high-danger scoring chances. Just solid stuff from Rico. 49 seconds of penalty kill time, and the Sharks only got one shot on net while he was on the ice. That's an impressive number. He was good. There's one other number I like for that fourth line. All three of them on the ice, 4 minutes and 22 seconds time on ice. Their zone starts, 2 defensive zone faceoffs, none in the O zone, none in the neutral zone. And even despite that, they finished the game with a 79% expected goals percentage. What does that tell you? They flipped the ice.
Yeah.
And if you're going to play a role, that is a damn good and damn important role to play. If the coaching staff can trust you to take D-zone draws and have your shifts end with O-zone draws, that's vital in the playoffs, especially when you have last change and are on home ice.
Right. It's everything, really, isn't it? If you're not going to provide a ton of offense, which they're not expected to do, you have to give them something. And to put McDavid, Draisaitl, etc. in a positive spot after your shift has come to an end, that's what you should be asking for. Mm-hmm. So they say typically it takes about 10 games to feel like you're back into the swing of things in an injury. From stuff we've heard over the last couple of years, how many games do you think Adam Henrique has played?
Was that number 11?
It was number 9.
Ooh,
so we're right there, 9th game, and it's the first time he's registered a point since coming back from injury. It's actually the first time he's registered a point since the Winnipeg Jets game, which it would be hilarious if this is on the Max Jones goal. It was not. It was it was actually a power play point was the last time. So, yeah, it was good to see. And, Henrique can play. There's no doubt about it. When he's going, he's a good player, and he can be reliable. I think the others just need a bit more consistency from him. And hopefully this line of him, Jones, and Frederick can kind of form something here. I know a lot of people have been pushing online to be like, Henrique and Frederick do not work together. Mm-hmm. It's okay, but there's also a third player on that wing who's that third player on that line with them typically. And if it's Janmark, is that the reason it doesn't work? Because the three of them just can't provide much offense. But maybe with Jones,
Janmark doesn't do much of anything.
Yeah, and I think when Podkolzin was playing on that line a couple of weeks ago when Henrique came back, I thought it was really solid too. So maybe that line, maybe those two in particular, maybe it's just Henrique, just needs a bit more pace, and Jones is providing that. And yeah, Henrique definitely not the fleetest of foot, but you get a bit of a speedy wingers or aggressive wingers, and maybe a better way to put it, in Frederick and Jones. It can kind of unlock something, maybe create a bit more space for him.
Yep. The Oily accountant, do we expect another call-up, or is the team happy to roll with what they have?
I think they'll call up another defenseman for the reason being they only currently have 6 healthy ones, although Emerson did skate the other day.
Gregor said probably not till April.
Okay, so it's only a week away. They got a lot of time here. It'll be very dependent on Lazar. And also, too, as much as the Oilers are the priority, and they rightfully should be, I think you got to respect a little bit the Condors in the sense of you don't want to rip them apart all of a sudden as well.
Yeah, and if Howard's playing an important role or whoever.
I think Regula is playing, from all accounts, playing really, really well too, so that's a good sign. So, yeah, I don't expect one soon. I would not be surprised either if someone gets the opportunity. They should give James Hamlin a chance. And I think for the reason of similar to Jones, he has done a good job of changing his game. He's currently not playing power play time, and he has 20 goals this season. And there's stuff like that. He's finding a way to be impactful. And I don't mean in the sense of he's going to be something for the others down the road at the end of the day. He's 26. Yeah. But I think just rewarding a guy, give it, we talk about it, right, with the Clattenburg stuff. It's give him a week's wages on in NHL. Give Hamlin towards the end of the year a couple of games in the league. 23 goals, 37 points, 52 minutes for Bakersfield this season. He's been a good soldier. I think it deserves something. I'm not saying by any means give him 10 games. Yeah. Give him 3. Give him a week.
When's Bakersfield done? Oh, they're probably going to make the playoffs already.
They should make the playoffs, yeah. Maybe there's a spot maybe they clinch and there's nothing they can do. I don't know how it works exactly. But
their last regular season game is 10 days from now.
Maybe they're out round 1. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe as much as you want your AHL team to have success. They are pretty close to the playoff cut line, I believe. Oh no, they should be good because the Central Division sucks in the American League. Yeah, they should be
similar to Pacific.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not. To me, Hamblin can come up if someone else gets hurt.
I don't. I mean, like last few games of the season.
Yeah.
Bring him up. Let him play.
Get him around. Sure. Yeah, D-man thing. You need to be a bit more cautious just because if someone does get hurt, you don't want to have 5 D-men for a game. So there is always that concern, but also I think it helps that the Oilers are on home ice too, right? So
yeah,
again, you could just rip someone up to Edmonton on a day's notice, and it should be fine.
Brandon asked, can Regula play in the AHL playoffs? Was he? Yeah, he can. He was already down there. Everyone who is eligible to play in that for the Oilers, who has like a 2-way deal or whatever, can play. Because Savoy went down, obviously, and not Kirby Doc, what's his name? Colton Doc was done on a paper transaction, which you could do on deadline day, and they did that.
Deadline day. Yeah. All right, I don't think I missed anything else. There was one, actually. I think Cole asked about it. The Sharks were pissed off, and maybe this came across better on TV. So Darnell Nurse fires the puck over the glass in the third. I could tell in real time. I'm like, that hit the top of the glass.
Yeah.
I was stunned. One of the officials actually didn't overturn that immediately. The one linesman who would have been blinded by that, like he couldn't see that part of the glass from where he was. He's the one who called it. I was stunned it stood. I was stunned the Oilers didn't challenge it quicker than they did because it seemed so obvious on the first replay. And then they have to burn their timeout. It ultimately ends up being the right call. You lose your timeout, who cares? You got a penalty taken off the board.
Yeah.
The Sharks, I think, were just pissed because the Oilers seemed to delay time. And I know, Cole, you kind of said you'd be just as mad if this was flipped the other way or something along those lines. This happened to the Oilers against the Leafs last year.
Yeah.
It was a goal. Toronto called a timeout to take more time to...
Klingberg was offside.
Yeah, that's what it was. Great memory, Liam.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, would I be a little bit irritated if that happened? Sure. But it's a part of the game. Like, I want the NHL to maybe close off that loophole. Like, I think, and we made this argument, you can't challenge something once the puck drops or there's a new event. Yeah. I think a timeout's a new event that you shouldn't be able to challenge after. But whatever, the Oilers use that rule to their advantage.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really have anything else to add.
Yep.
I mean... I agree. I like the idea of like new event, and timeout should be a new event.
Yep. All right. Speaking of maybe.
Oh, sorry. There was a super chat. Happy birthday, Lance.
Oh, okay. I put it in what's trending, but we can talk about it now. Happy birthday to our good friend Lance Kane.
Sorry.
Happy birthday, Lance.
Happy birthday, Lance.
Happy birthday, Lance. Got to see my stomach for your birthday.
Last thing on the prep sheet. That's hilarious.
Ty, what are you and Lance doing for his birthday tonight?
I don't know. I guess it's on Lance to make the plans. I'm making pasta at my house, Lance, if you want to come.
Damn.
He's going to pounce on that.
Oh, yeah. No, Lance, you're not allowed.
His address is?
I shouldn't have got you excited. All right. We got a couple more things to do here, Liam. First up, Is It Cake?
Yes.
While we're talking about rule changes. Is It Cake is a presentation of GMC. It's Truck Month. On now at GMC. If you want something reliable, tough, and ready for whatever the schedule throws at you, that is the 2026 Sierra 1500 Pro Graphite Crew Cab in a nutshell, and it can be yours for 0% financing for 72 months with a factory 2-inch lift, off-road suspension, and a 5.3-liter V8 engine. This is one ready for anything truck. Don't miss out. Get to your local GMC dealer and take advantage of Truck Month before it ends. GM meetings are on now. We were just talking a little bit about a potential, would we like to see the timeout loophole changed? So I'm going to give you 4 things that I think could change in the NHL or should change or things that people have talked about.
Okay.
You're going to say, is it cake, is it not cake? Do you want to change it or not?
Okay.
Does it make the sport better?
Okay. I think I know.
First one we got. Take out the trapezoid behind the net.
Not cake. It doesn't really, I don't know. I don't really think about it.
But, why do we have it?
I think it's more for goalie safety.
At first, it was kind of done because I think, they didn't want goalies wandering out of the crease and whatnot. But, I think we're kind of at the point where you don't need it anymore. I think we could get rid of it. I'm going to say it's cake. It just feels like it's unnecessary. If goalies want to wander out to play the puck, the only thing that could ensue is quicker breakouts. So, again, the pace of the game goes faster.
Sure.
And number 2 would be you have goalies who mess up and there's chaos.
I guess, yeah. I actually, when I was at the V's game the other day, that happened. The puck wasn't rimmed hard enough, and the goalie was waiting for it behind the net, and he just never made it to him. And he just sat there, and everyone was a bit confused. So, yeah, maybe it is cake. I don't know. I'll say not cake. It's just not something I worry about.
Next one, then. I kind of went in a certain order, so easy to get that one out of the way, warm you up. A 10-minute 3-on-3 overtime period.
Cake.
You want it?
Yeah, they do it now in a lot of minor hockey leagues. And they do it in a few junior leagues now as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think it works really well. I will say, though, players get gassed. Towards the end of it, it's not that good.
It would force teams to play other guys, though.
You got to play a lot more guys. There's got to be a bit more strategy to it.
I would love to see how many minutes the Oilers could force Connor and Leon and Booch to play in a 10-minute 3-on-3 overtime. That honestly might force the Oilers to split them up, as crazy as that sounds.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Next one I got for you, is it cake? Change the playoff format.
Not cake.
I'm not cake, too. Everyone bitches about this because they're like, oh, this team has to play this team in the second round. It's the fucking playoffs.
Yeah, I just want good playoff series all the time, and I feel like we get it.
A great first-round matchup is sick.
And also, the whole point of it was to have rivalries.
Yeah.
And now the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers hate each other.
And they wouldn't hate each other if they never played in the playoffs. I would never think about them.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I think it's good, too. I think it did exactly what the NHL wanted. And you always hear people who are like, just get rid of the divisions, get rid of the conferences, do 1 through 16. And it's like, yeah, man, you really want Florida flying to, like, Vancouver for round 1, then they're gassed by round 2? Like, this is fine. The only complaint, and I know we kind of did this earlier in the week, I just want them playing more divisional games in the regular season. It was out of hand when it was like 8 against your own division. That was too much. But 3 against some of your divisional rivals?
Should just be 4.
The fact that there's years where Calgary only comes to Edmonton once is crazy.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. And again, maybe it has to come at the cost of playing some Eastern teams a little bit more. But like, I think you could honestly probably get away with doing like what the NFL and baseball kind of do, where like you alternate. Like 1 year, the Oilers play the Atlantic twice and they only play the Metro once, then the next year it flips.
Yeah.
So you still get like those teams in the East. They'll still have Connor McDavid come to town. We'll call it 2 of every 3 years or whatever. You can make it better. I think I want more divisional rivalries, not less, honestly.
Yep.
Next one I got for you, the point system in the NHL. Cake or not cake?
Cake, like I would change it.
You would change it?
No points for a loss. You lose,
Ever?
you lose. Ever.
Even
Nothing.
shootouts? Or are you abolishing shootouts?
Shootouts, sure, you can have a point. But overtime loss, no points.
All right. I asked you this earlier in the week. Curious if your mind's changing at all.
Oh, let's see if I remember what I said.
Still doing Matt Savoy, cake, top line with Connor McDavid, game 1 of the playoffs?
I'm all cake.
Yeah. Last one, is it cake? Should the Oilers get there? This is now away from the rules. We're back to Oilers stuff.
Okay.
Should the Oilers make it? Cross your fingers, knock on wood, all that shit. Leon Draisaitl playing game 1 of the playoffs. Is it cake?
It's cake.
You ask Chris Knobloch, he'd maybe say not cake.
But Chris Knobloch, again, told us his injury was day-to-day yesterday, which I guess is technically the truth.
I love this. So just to give people the context, this is Spectre from last night. Leon Draisaitl's health remains a mystery. Oilers say he won't play in the regular season. What they won't say is that he'll return for the playoffs. Then a quote from Knobloch, quote, "Right now, the timeline we're using is the end of the regular season. Once the playoffs start, we'll reevaluate." That lines up with my kind of line of thinking from yesterday, which was if there's a chance he could play at the end of the regular season, why would you not call him week to week? The gap between end of regular season and playoffs is 3 or 4 days. Today, Stan Bowman to Elliot Friedman, if everything goes as scheduled, he should be back at the end of the regular season. What? Are the Oilers lying to us? Is someone confused?
Depends how you define end.
I guess.
Because, well, here's a question. Does it matter if he plays another regular season game? Like, if the Oilers should make the playoffs and they should clinch, whatever. They've proven in the past it doesn't matter where they are. They should still be fine.
Mm-hmm.
If he's skating at practice, like, I know you kind of want to get up to speed and everything, but, like, I feel like Draisaitl's good enough. He could literally miss an entire regular season, get to game 1 of the playoffs, and just be fine. So the important part is the playoffs. I guess they got to get in. Obviously, that's part of it, too, but they should.
If it's a must-win on Game 82, will Leon play? Cake or not cake?
Cake.
You think he would
100%.
Cake,
Yeah.
1,000%.
You have to. Yeah, you
That guy
have to.
played on one ankle for a whole round.
All right.
Yeah, for whole playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring in our first guest of the day, our only guest of the day, I should say. Very excited to have our friend Pete Blackburn on. Our guest line is a presentation of your Prairie Toyota dealers, looking to dominate off the ice as much as your team does on it. Check out the Toyota Tacoma. Its standard I-Force engine boasts an impressive towing capacity of up to 6,400 pounds. In fact, it's the most powerful Tacoma ever. Get a nice look at it right there on the screen. Red tag days. Whether you're hauling gear to the rink or heading to an away game, you can tackle it with ease with the Toyota Tacoma. Visit shoptoyota.ca or visit your local Prairie Toyota dealer during red tag days on from March through May. Pete Blackburn, 1/3 of the What Chaos trio here at the Nation Network. Pete, cake or not cake? Oh, no, I'm going to ask you about a fraud in the NHL. I think that's where we'll start. Which NHL team in the playoff mix is not cake? They're fraudulent.
I mean, where do we want to start? I feel like a lot of the teams in the race this year might be fraudulent. I mean, let's say the Vegas Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights are a team that they've not beat a playoff team like what? They beat one playoff team since November. They've got terrible goaltending, and they're just a team that I just don't take seriously right now. They're kind of like in the same boat a little bit as the Oilers, where like the Oilers, any faith that you have in the Oilers are based on a previous iteration of the Oilers, right? And I keep saying that, where it's like, yeah, they're going to get to the playoffs, they're going to cruise, they're going to figure it out because that's what they always do. What have you seen this year that gives you confidence in that? And maybe you can say like since trade deadline, they've gotten better defensively. Paul Coffey unlocked a little something in that group perhaps again. But like with the Oilers and with the Golden Knights, I think about the reason that I believe in them is because of the sort of aura that is attached to that team based off of years past.
What was his answer? Sorry,
his answer was Vegas.
I forgot. We have to wear these earpieces now, and I'm like, I was like, why is no one commenting on how we can't hear him? Realized it was just me.
It was only you.
So his answer is Vegas. I
His
completely
answer is
agree.
Vegas.
Aiden Hill sucks.
But that's so along those lines. I think Pete, maybe the reason, and maybe this is a reason to believe in all these teams in the Pacific in a twisted way. Every issue people list about the Oilers is true for the Golden Knights and is also true for the Anaheim Ducks, who since basically February haven't gotten great goaltending and don't defend it particularly well.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm believing in any team to come out of the Pacific Division, it is probably the Oilers, just based off of the experience factor and the fact that they have two of the best players on the planet, assuming that Leon Draisaitl is going to be available in the playoffs. Like, I think Anaheim, they're too green. They gotta learn a little something. I always believe in a team having to kind of get punched in the face in the playoffs and learn how to respond to that. And again, going back to Vegas, they've got the same issues as Edmonton does without sort of the high value players that Edmonton does. Like, they can't match that.
What do you make of the playoff picture in the East right now? I mean, it's crazy to think that the Buffalo Sabres are currently leading the Atlantic Division. I can't believe that's actually happening, to be honest. Like, who do you think is going to sneak in, or do you think this is the A that it's going to be?
Poor Detroit.
I mean, it's hard for me to say that Columbus isn't in the mix here because they've been so good since hiring Rick Bowness, and he's kind of unlocked a new version of that team. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston fell out. I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit fell out, especially with Dylan Larkin. Like, I think that there is a lot in flux here, but obviously this is a new playoff picture for the Eastern Conference. I think there's 5 or 6 teams that are new this year versus last year. So there is kind of a changing of the guard happening here. Ultimately, though, I don't believe in anybody outside of like the top 4 teams that you see at the top of that graphic. Buffalo, Tampa, Montreal, Carolina. Those are the 4 teams that I think are poised to come out of the Eastern Conference. Like, I would believe in them. The rest of them, I just think that they have too many flaws and they're kind of just happy to be there.
I think I did this today on DFO Live. I think the Islanders might be like circling close to fraud territory for me. One of the things I like to look at is how teams perform in 1-goal games because, like, and I mean, you watch a ton of hockey. I think there's like a cliche hockey brain part of people that goes like, oh, they're good in 1-goal games because they're scrappy and disciplined. And it's like, no, you're good in 1-goal games because it's lucky you hit the post or the other team hits the post, you have one go off the post and in. Like, if you look back through previous years, the teams who are traditionally like top 5 in the NHL in 1-goal games one year, the next year, a bunch of them like all fall off. Not all of them, but like a weird amount of them fall off. Like last year, the 5 best teams in the NHL in 1-goal games were Toronto, Winnipeg, Florida, Ottawa, and Minnesota. 4 of those teams have, to an extent, fallen off this year. And you look at this year, the Islanders are second in the NHL in winning percentage in 1-goal games. So I look at them and like they're playing the shit out of Matthew Schaefer right now. Like the vibes are great, but I just think like the actual product maybe isn't all that sustainable.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you talk about 1-goal games, where do the New York Islanders rank in save percentage?
That's a decent counterpoint, is like they have the better
Like-
goalie, so they win close games.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily a counterpoint. It's like you're winning a lot of 1-goal games while having a top 3 save percentage in the NHL. How many of those games are you only winning because your goaltender is bailing you out and making the difference in that 1-goal game? And yeah, the goaltender is a part of your team and you deserve credit for winning those games. But when push comes to shove and you're going up against a team equally good as you or better than you in a playoff series, it's a 7-game series, you might run into some worse luck there.
Yeah, and as much as we just talked about how we like the playoff format, it is very funny that one of Dallas or Minnesota are going home in round 1, while one of Pittsburgh or the Islanders are potentially going to go to round 2. Like, that doesn't feel, I mean, shit, life's not fair, which is why I don't bitch about the playoff format too much, but that doesn't seem right that, like, one of those two teams is going to go on.
You should be allowed to bitch about the playoff format. Like, okay. I wanted to jump into the podcast when you guys were talking about it in the last segment, because, like, you should be able to bitch about the playoff format, especially this year. If you can't bitch about it this year, when can you bitch about it? Like, because normally I kind of would be more inclined to agree with you, because in most years, the matchups are not all that different if you were to go 1 through 8 versus what you get from the current format. This year, though, like, they would be pretty significantly different. And I don't want to see Dallas or Minnesota eliminated in the first round because they face each other, or God forbid, Colorado's in that mix too. Like, those teams, I would say, don't deserve a sealed fate of one of them being kicked out of the playoffs in the first round. So, like, yeah, if you want to win the cup, you got to go through, like, the best teams. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't think that we necessarily need to see the divisional rivalries be propped up in the first round of the playoffs. Prop them up in the regular season. Get more games between divisional rivals on the 82, soon to be 84 game schedule. Like, that is more important to me throughout the course of the season. And I'll say too, like, I loved the element of reseeding the Final Four teams when they did it in the COVID bubble. And I wouldn't hate seeing that sort of brought back into the mix in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I know that might be like controversial or a hot take or whatever, but opening up the possibility of getting Stanley Cup final matchups between division rivals or conference rivals is really fun and interesting to me.
So
who was it? Was Carolina, Florida last year.
Yeah, so
and then Edmonton, who did we beat? Dallas.
So if you would have reseeded, you would have gotten Dallas, Florida, and Edmonton, Carolina. And then the year before, Edmonton also beat Dallas. And who did Florida beat? Did they beat Carolina again?
I think it was the same.
Is it the same Final Four back-to-back years?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So then if you would have reseeded that year...
Rangers?
Oh, it might have been the Rangers, because they won the President's Trophy that year. God, we were supposed to remember like 5 things. But if they reseeded that year, it would have been Rangers or Dallas against Edmonton. So maybe it would have been the same. Maybe it would have been different. It was Rangers. Okay, so it would have been Rangers, Oilers, and then Dallas against Florida. I don't hate that either, because then you get a bunch of like really unique Stanley Cup Final matchups. But that would also end the narrative like we won the West, we won the East. Like those trophies would then be obsolete.
That's the
I suppose.
problem.
Yeah.
Well, just name them
that's the
something.
problem where it's like the trophy, the Wales and the Campbell trophies, like they're not going to the winner of the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference necessarily. But like, to me as a fan, I don't really give that much of a shit about those conference trophies. Just give me like a more interesting Final Four structure and I'll be happy.
Well, they kind of did that at the Olympics too, right? Well, they didn't reseed, but I guess
they reseeded after whatever the second round.
But it just becomes like if you're the lowest seed. I guess, I guess it was.
But then if we get rid of those trophies, like I don't mind looking up at Rogers Place and seeing like Western Conference champion banners. Teams are going to be itching to put up banners. You know, teams love putting up banners, and we're going to get a bunch of like Stanley Cup finalist banners around the NHL, and that'll be a problem for me.
I mean, it's essentially you're getting those anyway. They're just coming in a different form. You just have to work on the language on those banners.
Can I ask you about Victor Arvidsson? Because I see you're on the re-signed Victor Arvidsson train. I see he's having a good year after being dog shit in Edmonton, and it kind of pisses me off.
I mean, it should piss you off, but again, like it's not just a Victor Arvidsson thing. There's been a lot of forwards who have been signed to the Oilers who have not worked out in the way that they should, and some of them go on to have nice little turnarounds after they leave Edmonton. The Arvidsson thing, like I say that I want them to re-sign him with a little bit of hesitation because I need to know what the contract looks like, right? And I've seen enough of Victor Arvidsson over the past several years where I know that this is an outlier. Like I know that he wasn't very effective in Edmonton. I know he wasn't very effective a lot of the time in LA. This is really the best that I've seen him since his heyday in Nashville. And like, he's a really good player when he's at his best. It's just, is he at his best and is he healthy? And those two things are pretty uncertain a lot of the time. So I just think that if the Bruins weren't going to trade him at peak trade value at the deadline, which I was advocating for them to do because I just don't believe in the ceiling of this Bruins team. So you may as well cash in on your expiring assets. If they weren't going to do that, you may as well keep him around for a year or two beyond this season because they need players like him. And I've been really impressed by what he's brought to Boston, not only on the ice, but in the locker room. Like he's been a leader of that team, which is something that I really, really didn't expect. And for a team that's young and inexperienced and sort of new together, he's been really important to that club. And I wouldn't hate seeing them kind of reward him for that.
I know you said you don't really believe in the ceiling, but like, if the playoffs started today, I think they would maybe get Buffalo in round one. Like, I know Buffalo is a great story and they look like a wagon and all that, but like whoever gets them in round one, I don't think is going to be like trembling in fear the same way someone who's getting like Colorado is or whatever, right? Like Buffalo wouldn't be unbeatable.
They're not unbeatable. You'd have to get the best out of Jeremy Swayman, which the Bruins have been getting very good Jeremy Swayman since the Olympic break. So, like, maybe that happens, but ultimately I do think the Bruins are a team that has, like, too many flaws and too many liabilities and not enough game-breaking talent to really believe in when it comes to the playoffs, especially going up against a really good team. So I'm cautiously optimistic for what I might get out of the Bruins in the playoffs if they get there at all.
What do you make of this Jack Hughes Hockey Hall of Fame thing going on right now? Which side of the fence are you standing on?
I mean, I'm standing on the side of the fence that said he shouldn't have said anything at all. I mean, he was asked about it, and like he definitely did not have to have a quote that strong, especially when he hadn't at that point tried to get the puck. Like to see that he had the quote, "I'm trying to get it," like that's bullshit that the Hockey Hall of Fame has it. My two problems there are, it's absolutely not bullshit that the Hockey Hall of Fame has it. It's kind of standard fare for the Hockey Hall of Fame to want that puck and put it on display. And the first part, I'm trying to get it. Then you click the link, read the story, and it says he has not yet reached out to the Hockey Hall of Fame to ask about the puck. How hard are you trying to get it then? So that's like, this story does not need to be a story, and I'm not trying to kill Jack Hughes, but he absolutely shot himself in the foot by making this a story, by answering it the way that he did. And the update just came out that he's not getting this puck. Phil Pritchard was basically like, "Go fuck yourself, Jack. This is not your puck. We're hanging on to this."
Well, that too, like
it's the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's also like it's not your puck. Like you have your jersey and your stick and probably your gloves. And I know he did the whole. He was like, "I want to give it to my dad." Your dad can hang the gold medal in the Hughes residences and
you can go
probably
see the puck.
You can also go see it. It was weird. And then I had like a really strong take about it on DFO Live that I almost did the same thing, Pete, where I was like, wait, why do I give so much of a shit if Jack Hughes cares this much? Like, it's a weird thing that's become a story, but
if somebody came up to me on the street and was like, "Hey, Jack Hughes doesn't have his gold medal winning puck. Where is it?" I'd be like, probably the Hockey Hall of Fame. So, like, I can't believe he's this shocked. That's where it is.
There's another question too. There's a weird. Well, I shouldn't call it a weird rivalry. Calgary hates that Edmonton is getting anything to do with this World Cup of Hockey in a few years. In Edmonton, we quite frankly couldn't care less what Calgary worries about.
I'm very happy they're also getting some games.
But I'm starting to wonder if this event should be held in the U.S. instead. Because of, we talk about growing the game and everything. It's like, you don't need to grow the game in Canada. We all love hockey. But in the U.S., it's not quite like that. Do you think this was a mistake by the NHL not putting it in the U.S.?
I wouldn't say it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that what we saw in World Juniors this year could sort of highlight the fears that they might have. But, I mean, it was a success in Boston when they did Four Nations there. So I'm not going to say that it's a mistake. Would I like to have seen like a U.S. host country? And I wouldn't even say instead. Like, have one of Edmonton or Calgary host and use the other one for a spot in the United States. Like, that's what I'd like to see. Ultimately, though, like, I'm not upset that Canada has two host cities. It's going to be an awesome building. It's going to be an awesome atmosphere. And American fans who want to travel won't have to travel that far. Mm-hmm. So it's all good in my book. I just want to see a good World Hockey tournament.
You just have to come to Edmonton in February.
Yeah, which they'll be fine.
It'll be great.
I mean, the game is held indoors for people who worry about the weather.
Decent point.
Oh, it's so cold. Now I have to go and watch an ice hockey game. It's like, well,
Inside.
you were going to go watch it anyway, warm or cold.
I had a take today that I see you have the Habs jersey up behind you. Cole Caufield hit 40 goals yesterday. That's a big accomplishment for Montreal Canadiens fans who haven't seen a 40-goal scorer in 32 years. He did it by scoring his 5th overtime winner of the year. That is more than I think the rest of his team combined, or just as many as the rest of the team combined. He has 9 game winners on the season, 6 more than anyone else on the team. He's got 40 goals on the year, 16 more than anyone else on the team. Second in the league in goals, second in the league in even strength scoring, all this stuff. And then I went, because I had the thought, I was like, does he have a weird MVP? He's not winning MVP, but I was like, should he not be like in the mix more than he is? Like, I'm looking at the odds right now, and like you have Jason Robertson who's listed on Bet365, and guys like Pasternak as well, which like I think Caufield's case is as good as like a Pasternak's. But I just had that thought about Cole Caufield, and I'm curious for your take as someone who watches a lot of hockey around the league. I was like, He is the MVP of that team, and they've been a decent story this year. Like, is there something I'm just totally missing on him? Is it just because Nick Suzuki's there and he's also like just as impactful?
I mean, Nick Suzuki's there, Lane Hudson's there. Yeah. Like, there's definitely more talent around Cole Caufield. Like, I love Cole Caufield, a player. I think that he has zero case for a Hart this season. There's just too many good Hart candidates, and I would push back against it being more deserving of a spot than a guy like Pasternak. Like, who's around Pasternak? Who's on Pasternak's line? Like, there haven't been too many like, oh, well, it definitely makes sense that he would be putting up numbers on this team. And it's just, there are so many games where David Pasternak is just like the very clear separating factor for the Bruins between like winning and losing. And sometimes it goes both ways. Like, sometimes he makes mistakes that cost him games. But ultimately, I think at the end of the day, Pasternak probably has a better case because of the team around him isn't quite as good. But Cole Caufield, like, he's electric, and he constantly comes up in big moments, which is exactly why I'm very excited to see what the Canadiens are going to do in the playoffs this year. Because if they go on any sort of run, he's absolutely going to be at the center of it. And I think that he's one of the best goal scorers that the NHL has to offer right now. And it's not going to be very long before people who are maybe on the fringes start hearing that name a lot more.
Is James Hagen's going to play for the Bruins this year?
That's a good question.
Is there going to be time for him to get there?
I think I would be surprised if he didn't at this point. There's a lot of chatter about him getting there, and whether or not it's like before the end of the regular season. I do think that you will see him play for the Bruins before this season is over. Again, assuming they make the playoffs. Like, he's made such a leap that, and they need him so bad that I think that you will see him in a Bruins uniform by the end of the season.
You guys didn't actually have Kevin Weeks on the show the other day, but you tricked me with like the show lineup when it was like Kevin Weeks, and I read it and I'm like, fuck, that's so funny that they got Kevin Weeks on after everything that happened. Then it took me like half an hour to be like, oh, wait, no, I just got by like the show tweet. They definitely didn't have him on.
To be
That
fair,
was great.
I put it in quotation marks.
I
I
know.
put Kevin Weeks is on the show, which is in reference to our producer, who is a black man who is not named Kevin Weeks, much to the surprise of Buffalo Radio, which just thinks there's a black man talking hockey. That must be Kevin Weeks. Definitely not racist at all.
No, definitely not. I love the community meme you guys made. It's like, I can excuse, what was it, excused puck knowledge?
I
or
can
whatever.
excuse racism,
yeah,
but like
not knowing puck.
That was Sean's exact take, which is why Sean is the best. He saw that radio station call him Kevin Weeks, and he was like, damn, that's definitely racist. But I'm more offended that they're talking about the Sabres and Lindy Ruff and not giving them the proper credit and the proper information. And he was mainly upset that they didn't know puck.
And well, that's the other thing too, is like it was a Buffalo station.
Yeah.
Like you should if you're following hockey in a mild level online and work in the industry, you should know who Sean is.
Yeah, like he is the mayor of Buffalo sports at this point in time. And it's like they crapped all over me, but they got my name right. And it's like they said they wanted to marry Sean for his take and his pushback and his argument against me, but then they absolutely have no clue who he is. Those guys did a bad job of research.
Yeah,
They did.
that's good. All right, Pete. Appreciate your time, man. Thanks for popping on. Everybody go subscribe to What Chaos.
Bye, Pete.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
See
it.
ya. There
See
goes
ya.
Pete.
Off into the night.
Just on my Caufield thing. These are the names who are currently listed as candidates to win the Hart.
According to.
The betting odds that we use.
Okay.
Which I know isn't great, but like, again, he plays for
Yeah.
a Canadian team.
Yeah.
McKinnon makes sense. Kucherov makes sense. Celebrini should be higher. McDavid makes sense. Werenski actually makes sense. Sorokin, shit, if Hellebuck gets it, Sorokin has probably got a hell of a case too. Kaprizov, sure. Robertson, okay. Vasilevsky, okay. Pasternak, I actually liked what Pete had to say. Makar, not a shot. Eichel, meh. Kyle Connor, Seth Jarvis, Rasmus Dahlin, and Sebastian Aho. I think there's just it depends how you view the award too, but like how valuable is Cole in a playoff race where they're 5-6 points away from being out of the playoffs. How valuable are Cole Caufield's 9-game winning goals and 5 overtime winners this year? How valuable are his 40 goals to a team who's been brutal at keeping the puck out of their net and has won games on the strength of their offense more often than they've won games off the strength of anything else? Like, that's the kind of case I'd build for him. Mm-hmm. And it, again, comes down to how do you kind of view most valuable? Yes, they have a great team around him, right? Slavkovsky, Demidov, Hudson's been awesome this year as well. Like, he's kind of silenced a lot of people who maybe thought he'd be like a run-and-gun offensive guy who has a big rookie year and then fizzles out. Like, we've seen those guys in the past with the Ghost Despairs of the world. Again, I always thought those comparisons were lame, but, like, I don't know. I think if the way to discredit it is to say he's got a good team around him, then take McKinnon, take Kucherov right out of the mix and hand the thing to Celebrini. Like, we as a hockey community, I should say, like, we just always view the award in weird and different ways every year.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think it's unfair to, like you said, if you're just basing it off what team they play on, then none of those guys should be in the conversation. I think the other side of it, too, which maybe could push for a case for Caufield, or to at least be in the conversation, is how dreadful Montreal's goaltending has been in large part for the season. Like, his goals have really helped them get across the line in so many games. And what'd you say, 9-game winners and 5 overtime
winners.
It's been a good season. He's a really good player. I remember when the Oilers drafted Broberg, he was the guy I wanted the Oilers to go after. I think Todd makes a good point there too. Is that why is McKinnon so favorited anyways? He's on the best team, highest scoring, lowest goals against, goals, best save percentage, everything else. I don't think he will win, McKinnon.
Him at minus 200, I really want them to put him. Oh, they do have McKinnon versus the field. I really want to bet that 1+55 against the field. It's such a narrative-driven trophy, though, where like 2 months in, the Abs were a wagon, and everyone just said Nate's the MVP. But you overlooked that they had Landeskog back. They had all these other things. It's also very funny when people will discredit McDavid for getting Draisaitl, or they'll be like, "Oh, Bouchard, yeah, because he's on the ice with McDavid all the time. It's like, yeah, man, Kale, and then they just ignore it from Makar and McKinnon. Again, I don't love that argument, but if we're doing MVP, truly most valuable, the Avs are still a playoff team without Nathan McKinnon. The Lightning are still probably a playoff team without Nikita Kucherov. The Sharks are a dumpster fire without Celebrini. The Oilers are out of a playoff spot without Connor McDavid. I don't think Columbus is in the race without Werenski. I don't think Montreal's in the race without Caufield. And I don't think the Islanders are even close to the playoffs without Ilya Sorokin. And you could probably make the argument Boston's not close without Pasternak. I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in the NHL who have a better MVP case than either one of McKinnon or Kucherov if you view it purely through the lens of where would their team be without them.
Well, I think even with McKinnon, if Colorado slips out first place in their division, and the conference, I guess, and it all happens when Landeskog isn't in the lineup, does that not even push the narrative more that it shouldn't be Nathan McKinnon to win the MVP? Like, he's had a really good season. I'm not trying to discredit him too much. I'm just trying to build the case of, like, other guys have just had equally as good seasons. Like, there was a stat Daily Faceoff put out whilst we were on the show here. Since let me get it exactly. Since January 1st, Nikita Kucherov has 60 points. That's 27 games, by the way. Next closest guy is McDavid with 45. Then it's Bouchard and Draisaitl. Then it's McKinnon, who's tied with Draisaitl 40 points each. Kind of crazy. Yeah. 60 points in 27 games is insane. I truly think, and I know Kucherov has won he's won one MVP, maybe two.
I don't know if he has.
I think he has one. He might go down as one of the most underrated players of all time. Like, we just do not talk about him as much as we probably should.
If he played in the Canadian market, it'd be insane.
Or anything further north than Tampa Bay. To be honest, they must be the most southern team in the NHL, I would assume. I'm not knowing much on maps. More of a flag guy.
Them in Florida are very south, yes.
But they're more south. Oh, no, Tampa's more north. It's definitely either way. Who gives a shit? He's a great player.
Okay, so this is where Kucherov is finished. He does have a Hart.
One, right?
Yeah, back
That's when he had a 100 assist season.
128 points that year, yeah. That was not the year he had 100 assists. He didn't win MVP that year.
Oh,
These are his
crazy.
This is where he's finished in MVP races over the last few years. 3rd, 2nd, 12th, no votes, 13th, 1st, 6th, 8th. Like, he's been on a run here where he's like top 10 in Hart Trophy voting like 80% of the time. Like, you're right. He should probably be getting – he should be everyone just does the McDavid or McKinnon. I mean, this guy's just as nasty. He had 5 points last night against Seattle, by the way.
What year did he win that MVP?
18-19, 128 points.
It's not even his best season.
No, he had 144 points in 23-24. McDavid just happened to also go stupid that year.
Yeah, and you said he finished 3rd in voting that year?
Yeah.
Bonkers. Again, like, I don't even know he would have been on that. In 865 games, has 1,100 points. And he has 2 Stanley Cups, by the way.
Yeah.
One of them, he also has missed an entire season. He was that guy, wasn't he? He missed the full year.
Yep. All right, boys. Let's wrap up the show with a little bit of what's trending. What's Trending is brought to you by our friends at the River Cree Resort and Casino, your home for great performance. Musician and comedian Morgan J is bringing the Goofy Guy tour to Edmonton on May 23rd. It's the 9 p.m. show is sold out, so his second show has been added at 6 p.m. How about that? Catch his wild style of interactive auto-tune. Tickets are going fast. Get yours, rivercreeresort.com. Again, that is Saturday, May 23rd. Morgan J is bringing the Goofy Guy tour to the River Cree Resort and Casino in Edmonton. The 9 p.m. show is sold out, but you can still get in for the 6 p.m. show. Must be 18 plus. Get your tickets for all these amazing shows and events at rivercreeresort.com or at the River Cree box office. What's trending, Liam?
You asking me?
Yeah, what's trending? Venezuela beat the U.S. in the World Baseball Classic.
Because of that and the way the U.S. has been acting to all the hockey stuff recently, Venezuela now owns baseball.
Correct.
Just so we're all on the same page. That's how this is working. Venezuela also were one of the favorites still to win. Like, I know it's the first time they won. You look at their team. There's a lot of great players, too.
A lot of pretty good players. Like, if I had to put it into hockey terms, like, USA is Canada. Dominican is USA. They met in the semifinals.
Japan is Sweden.
Japan can be Sweden. Yep.
And then Finland is Venezuela.
That's actually probably a pretty good way to put it.
Nice.
A lot of good players, a couple guys who aren't NHL, MLBers, all that stuff. Yeah. So shut it.
Well, I mean, it was kind of crazy that Aaron Judge was like, "This is better than playing in a World Series."
Yeah, pretty insane. The only reason why I'm like a little bit like raise an eyebrow at the World Baseball Classic, like I saw Chris Bassett, the former Blue Jay, sent out a tweet being like, he was like, "Oh, this like only in hockey do you see guys battle this hard for their countries? Like this is awesome." One, the insurance issues kept a whole bunch of good players out. A bunch of guys opted out. Like maybe if you put this in the middle of the season and just said, "Hey, we're going to start the year a week early. We're going to maybe take 5 games off the regular season that year." Do something like that. Give it a 2-week run in the middle of the season where starting pitchers could actually go and play. Because like Tarek Skubal pitched 3 innings against Great Britain, then was like, "I can't play anymore." Mason Miller for the USA. San Diego told them you can only use him if it's a save situation.
Interesting. So the quote was, "Only hockey players do that." I would argue that's just.
Also, soccer players do that.
No, I mean, look at Djokovic in the Olympics for Serbia and how much that meant to him.
Yeah.
I think it just doesn't mean the same to U.S. hockey, and I don't think that comment was meant to come across as like an arrogant approach. But like, I think for these like other nations who like Djokovic is just a good example because how many players does Serbia have in the NBA? I don't even know. Probably a handful, maybe less. Like, it means so much to them to like bring something to their country. And I think that's really cool. And like you could see the celebration from Venezuela. This is everything. Mm-hmm. It's cool. It's cool for them, and especially, honestly, with what's been going on with their country, I'm sure it's a significant win for them.
Yeah. Jeter said, "Anyone who says the World Baseball Classic is bigger than the World Series has never played in a World Series." Yeah, like, I mean, like Mike Trout wasn't on that U.S. roster. Like, I don't know, man. Canada had some guys who said they were in, then a bunch of them kind of like Freddie Freeman was a big name, right? I just think. And it's not like I see Cole's comment being like, "Can you imagine if Canada told, or if the Oilers told Canada McDavid couldn't PK?" It's different though, right? Like, if you're a pitcher, your arm is so valuable. If your arm goes, your career could be done. So like, I don't even point this to like the guys who said they couldn't go, especially the pitchers. I don't even blame the teams for being like, we don't want our guys going and potentially blowing out their arms in this. Like, relief pitchers, starting pitchers, their arms. That's way too important to be messing around in a tournament like this where you're like not getting paid for it or whatever. Totally. I know there was a prize for the winner, but like, I don't know. Maybe if you did it in the middle of the season, my point is, like, imagine the TV numbers if they did this in the middle of July.
Yeah. Probably be huge because there's nothing else going on.
There's nothing else to watch in July.
Yeah.
That dead zone where it's like the all-star break for baseball and the ESPYs, it sucks. If you had this happening in the middle of ball season, oh my God, it'd be unbelievable.
It'd be cool. It'd be a lot different.
But MLB kind of wants to have their cake and eat it too and not disrupt the regular season and all this stuff. I think you can make this a major event, shave 5 games off the regular season, start the regular season a week early, put the World Baseball Classic in the middle.
Is it ran by the MLB?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Is there a larger federation for like FIFA and baseball or anything
I have
like that?
no idea.
No? Interesting. I have something that's trended.
Sure.
So yesterday, you'll probably all remember when Senegal beat Morocco in the African Cup of Nations final.
Yeah, I all remember.
Senegal won. That was about 2 months ago. Well, yesterday it was stripped from them because they protested within the game of a call that was made. And like, I can't remember exactly what happened, but it felt like a bit like corruption. And they stripped them of their title of winning. They won that game. I think it was 1-0, 2-1, whatever it was, and just gave it to Morocco. And this whole thing for like the African Federation is that like how corrupt they are. And then just, out of the blue, they were just like, you lost. And now it's a whole thing, and there's like lawyers involved. And like, I guess they actually couldn't do it based on their own rules. And it's just like really out of control thing. But like, if you're a fan of African soccer, which I'm sure a few of you are, this is not something that would be a surprise to any of you. But yeah, it's kind of wild.
We got a couple super chats quickly, then we'll keep going on what's trending. Northside Norm donated $10 and said, "Happy birthday, Lance. Party at Tyler Shed." Justin Z is in. Dropped him $5. Said, "Hot take. The Jari trade allowed them to play Ingram, which might be the best of the bunch, Skinner included. Would you prefer Skinner or Ingram?" Ingram. Ingram's been better this year. I take Ingram over Skinner every day of the week.
But we had both Ingram and Skinner.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Is you could have been running with both and gotten the best of both worlds, but you made the panic trade.
I would take Skinner. Based
Over
off
Ingram?
The idea that, like, Jari wouldn't have been here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again,
Yeah.
if I could undo the trade, I would. Who would you rather have right now, Skinner and Pickard or Ingram and Jari? Take acquisition cost out of it. I know you can't really do that, but
Skinner and Pickard.
really.
Well, I knew I could play Pickard.
Decent
I can't
point.
play one of those two goalies right now.
Rusty dropped him $5, said, I'll wipe my tears with the 7 major international gold medals Team USA has won in hockey in the last year. LOL, congrats to Venezuela. I mean this with the utmost respect. But Canada at no point has ever flexed Paralympic gold medals or anything like that. I mean, that's a little bit just like, if we want to do that and we want to count up all the medals from the last 20 years, the number, if we're counting every little hockey tournament that pops up around the world, and again, I don't mean that disrespectfully, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I'm
You can
picking a
flex
real lane down.
the, yeah, okay.
We're not going there, but we could go there. But we're not going to go there.
All right. The other thing that's trending, this is always a fun thing, the menu for Rory McIlroy's Masters dinner was unveiled.
Is that coming up?
Yep. So
When is the Masters?
April 10th.
Ooh, 2 weeks.
So the winner of the previous Masters gets to set the menu for the Champions Dinner, which is
Yeah.
intended by all the previous Masters champions. Here's what we got going on. You tell me what you like and what you don't like on the menu. What would Liam be eating if Rory invited him to the dinner?
Oh.
The appetizers, a peach and ricotta flatbread.
Okay. Not bad.
Atlanta peaches ties in. Rock shrimp tempura with a creamy spicy sauce. That sounds good.
Does sound awesome.
Bacon wrapped dates with goat cheese.
Goat cheese is underrated.
I'm not a
food.
big goat cheese guy, but bacon wrapped dates, all over those.
Yeah.
Grilled elk sliders.
Oh, sick.
Not sure if I'm in on elk.
It's just like any other meat, to be honest.
The first course is a yellowfin tuna carpaccio.
Oh, wait. That wasn't... I had to pick one of those things?
That was just the appetizers that I'm assuming they're bringing to the table.
Cool. Okay.
The rock shrimp tempura looks great.
Yeah, hopefully that's in front of me.
First course is yellowfin tuna carpaccio. I know one of those words, and it's tuna.
Well done.
The next one, main course, is your choice of a Wagyu filet mignon or seared salmon.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
taking the Wagyu.
Oh, glazed carrots with brown butter. Oh,
God.
sticky toffee pudding for dessert. Oh,
What a day.
that sounds unbelievable.
Can we go? Oh, well,
Can't go. We could try to replicate it here.
I think I'll just get the Cajun chicken sandwich from downstairs and call it a day.
The wine offerings, each bottle retails for around $1,500.
I do like that they do this. I think it's a really cool, unique thing. I also love that they have the ceremonial tee off to start, and it's usually like the 3 old boys, right, who have won, and they just do like half a round and call it a day. But they're like part of the event, and I think wasn't it Fred Couples a couple of years ago, like was the first guy to tee off and like made the cut.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, that's crazy. I love the Masters. It's got to be one of my favorite events, and I don't even watch golf. Like but I love the
Me
Masters.
too. I fully agree. I
Yeah.
buy in. I
I'm
go
all
hard.
in.
Also, Rory McIlroy, that's a good palate.
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
palate for
Solid.
him.
Which is unusual for an Irishman. Usually it's just bread.
All right, we got to wrap up the show. A little look at the out-of-town scoreboard that's brought to you by our friends at Bet365. Their hockey events, there are a few things more stressful than a close hockey game. One late back check could make all the difference between a chance at playoff glory or an early spring tee time. That's why at Bet365, an official partner of the NHL, they're offering the 3-goal early payout. If the team you're riding goes up 3 goals at any point in the game, they'll pay out your bet early. Hockey fans have enough things to stress about with 3-goal early payout. Now your bets don't have to be one of them. Bet365, download the app today. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly.
Also applies to the NBA with 15 points,
Oh,
which
that's cool.
is pretty solid because the NBA 15 points ain't much.
Yeah, you go on a run to start the
Yeah.
game and you're humming. Out-of-town scoreboard tonight. Here's what you're going to want to be watching if you are Oilers fans. We have Dallas taking on Colorado. Doesn't really affect the Oilers too much. Really, the only game you're watching, Ducks -150 favorites taking on the Flyers. In Anaheim, Don't love Philly's chances, but if we can get an upset tonight, the Edmonton Oilers could wake up tomorrow in a tie. They could be in first on the tiebreaker in the Pacific Division. Oh, no, because they still have a game in hand. Damn it.
Yeah. Sorry, you said it's Philly Ducks?
Yeah, Philly Ducks.
Wow, the Trevor Zegras Bowl.
Trevor Zegras, Cutter Gauthier.
Jamie Drysdale.
Yeah.
Who else would have been over the years? Chris Pronger Bowl. I want to say, and I think this is wrong, but what was that Czech goalie that played for Washington? Michael
Kempny.
No,
Neuvirth.
Neuvirth. I think he played for the Ducks. He definitely played for Philly. Because remember, he passed out in a net. That was crazy. Any info on that one, Aaron? Did he play for the Ducks?
No, but we got the Adam Oates Bowl,
Oh, Adam Oates Bowl.
the Brizzy Bowl. Pretty much it.
All right. That is a wrap on today's show.
Joffrey Lupul Bowl.
Wow, did not know he played for the Flyers.
Other than that.
Yeah, he did. I think the Oilers traded him there, didn't they?
Did they? I thought they traded him.
Was
Maybe.
he not?
I thought he went back to the Ducks.
08, 09, he played 135 games for the Flyers.
Yeah, the Oilers traded him with Jason Smith for Jeff Sanderson, Yanni Pitkinen, and a third-round pick.
Wow. And his son Jake still didn't turn into a Canadian citizen.
Brutal.
Nick Delorier, there's my last one. There you go.
All right, wrap of the show. Everybody enjoy your Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow. Game day edition of the program, taking on the Florida Panthers. Looking to keep the little heater alive here in Edmonton. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you all tomorrow. Oil up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.